Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Championship predictions for another weekend. Some big games coming, and Sophie, you just got the better of me in the predictions. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. I think I'm slowly decreasing the gap a little bit.
Yeah, it's getting closer in the Championship predictions. As ever guys, you know the drill. Do drop a like and subscribe. Once again, this video is being sponsored by BetMate. Once again, we'll have our team set up for the Championship 3 PM pots. Certainly worth getting involved if you want to have a bit of fun. You can win prizes. It's just a couple of quid to join the Championship pot, and like I say, it's 7-a-side fantasy football. Pick 2 players from each team maximum, and certainly worth getting involved. Thank you once again to BetMate for sponsoring this video. Let's get straight into the Championship predictions, starting with Luton versus Queen's Park Rangers. Now this is an interesting matchup because both have got good chances of battling for the playoffs this season, and QPR are the team really in form. I think they've got a good record against Luton. I know they won at Kenilworth Road last season, so if I'm to edge anyone, I'd probably lean towards QPR, but Luton aren't looking bad themselves. They drew 0-0 with West Brom. I'm going to say 1-1.
Okay, I do think it could be quite a tight game. However, with the form QPR in, I'm going to have to back them to win. Saying that, 1-0 QPR. 1-0
QPR. Okay, next up we'll move on to a massive game between Rotherham United and Huddersfield Town. Yorkshire derby, both sides could do with the points. Rotherham falling down the table a little bit. Huddersfield maybe scuttling up it a little bit. A good win against Hull City there. I think I might just edge the recent form, which is Huddersfield Town looking a little bit better. Over the course of the season so far, Rotherham have been better, but I can see Huddersfield starting to scrape their way out of this. And it is tricky when Rotherham are at home, they are better, but I still think Huddersfield might get out of here with a 2-1 win.
Yeah, no, I actually agree. I think Huddersfield are just going to snatch it. 2-1 for me.
2-1 Terriers. Next up to Ashton Gate, Bristol City take on Millwall. This will be an interesting game. Bristol City played in midweek, and Millwall obviously played at the weekend last, so a bit more rested. Millwall won at the weekend against Middlesbrough, but Millwall aren't so reliable on the road, are they? And Bristol City, they're a bit hit and miss, Bristol City. I could see them maybe pull out something. I'm going to go Bristol City 1, Millwall 1.
Oh, I thought you were going to back them to win then. I think Millwall might actually get the win here. 1-0.
1-0 Millwall. Interesting. Okay, next up we'll go to Turf Moor. Now this is my game for the weekend. I think this is the big one. Burnley v Swansea, because Swansea are starting to take the lead by storm. They're winning game after game after game. But you've got Burnley, who've only lost 1 game this season. We saw them come to the CBS. They were just a bit more professional than us, bit better than us, really.
More clinical.
Yeah, they just have that more quality having come down. So I think it's a really hard one to separate. I don't want to go for either side to lose because I think they both look so good. I think it's capable that both sides win this game. It's possible, should I say. But I'm going to sit on the fence and say they're sharing the spoils, 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I think there's going to be a few more goals though, so I'll say 2-2. As you said, I think it's 2 good teams going at it, and I can't really separate them. Burnley do quite like to draw, but Swansea are in very good form, so I think it's going to be a good game.
Next up we go to South Wales, where Coventry go away to Cardiff City. Cardiff, to be fair to them, have picked out some decent results recently. Coventry, okay, if you look at the last 5 games, we've only lost 1, but the most recent one was the defeat to Burnley. Having said that, Burnley aren't a terrible side, but Coventry are bottom, and it's just a bit like we want to get a move on, and I don't know if we're going to win this game. We haven't won at Cardiff for the last 2 seasons. Cardiff City is a tricky place for Coventry to go, so I think I'd be happy with a draw here, but I don't even know if Coventry could do that. I think we need to go back to being bit more defensively organised. We have been better defensively recently, and if we get anything, it might be a goalless draw. I'll say 0-0, but I do fancy Cardiff, to be honest.
I'm actually going to be a bit of a pessimist here, and I do think a draw would be a really good result for us.
I do.
But I don't know if we can do it. We're not in very good form. They're in quite good form, and as you say, we haven't got the best record there, and I think they might beat us. 1-0 Cardiff.
1-0 Cardiff.
Sorry, guys.
There you go. Neither of us backing Coventry to get a goal. Give us your thoughts down below. Next up we'll go to the Riverside as Middlesbrough take on Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn so hit and miss. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. And then you've got Middlesbrough, who did get a win a week or so ago, but then they lost at Millwall 2-0. So I think this is tricky. It depends what Blackburn turn up. If Blackburn are on their A game, I think they'll beat this Middlesbrough side that are looking for rhythm. But if Blackburn aren't, this could be a point for Middlesbrough to kickstart their season. I'm going to sit on the fence though and go for a 1-1 draw.
How many times are you going to go 1-1? I don't think Middlesbrough are looking too good, and I think at times Blackburn do look good, but again very inconsistent. However, I am going to back them to win 2-1.
2-1. Okay, next up to Deepdale, Preston North End, certainly the team of the weekend just gone. They beat Norwich City away 3-2.
Great result.
They now host Stoke City, who are maybe the other team of the weekend because they beat Sheffield United 3-1. So
didn't see either of them.
Yeah, two sides that got big scalps at the weekend, beating the top two in the division, and I think it makes for an interesting game. And I'm going to go for Preston to go back to boring ways. 0-0, why not?
After that, goal fest and then a 0-0. I hope it isn't a 0-0, to be honest, because I think this could be quite an exciting game. Do you know what? I'm going to back Preston to win. I was going to say a draw, but no, I've changed my mind. I'm going to go Preston 2-1 win.
Preston 2-1. Could be a good game. That's worth keeping your eye on. Next up to Reading. Now Reading play West Brom, who have finally got rid of Steve Bruce after so long. And do you know what? I know Reading have had a good start to the season. West Brom haven't. But I genuinely think Bruce going, I think West Brom will start turning it around. Yeah. If they don't here, then maybe in the next game, because they've got the quality, they're showing up good on the metrics, the stats, they're creating good chances, they're just not putting them away. I think West Brom will start to recover. Reading 1, West Brom 2.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to back a West Brom 2-0 win. I think getting rid of Steve Bruce was the right decision. They should have done it a little while ago. They have got a good team. He just wasn't getting the best out of them. But I think that's him as a manager. He's got to be finished now, surely. That's another matter. So I think the new manager bounce is going to take place straight away and 2-0 win. 2-0.
Next up to Bramall Lane, Sheffield United take on Blackpool. Sheffield United, are the wheels coming off a little bit? Hopefully not for their sake. You can have these little bad runs, but only for 3-4 games. You can't keep doing this if your ambition is to get automatics. It's a good job they had such a good start, because they're still top after this bad little run. But they go up against Blackpool, who did get a good win against Watford. And Blackpool actually won at Bramall Lane last season. Not many teams do. So I think it'd be unfair for me to say Blackpool can't get anything from this game. I might say they get a point. I feel like Sheffield United are going to start going back to good ways, but maybe just a draw here. Sheffield United 2, Blackpool 2.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to sit on the fence with this one and say a draw. I think a couple of weeks ago I would have backed the Blades 100%, but I've got to give credit to Blackpool. That was a good result against Watford, and I think they could get something at Bramall Lane. 1-1 for me though. 1-1.
Okay, next up, Sunderland take on Wigan Athletic. This is an interesting game, because Sunderland and Wigan obviously came up last season. Sunderland won the playoffs, Wigan won League One, and all three newly promoted sides have climatised quite well. Some of them have dropped off a little bit. Big opportunity for both. I think both can look at this as winnable. I might edge Sunderland with the home advantage, and for the fact Wigan have played in midweek. Sunderland 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say Sunderland win as well. I do think Wigan have had like a pretty good start to the season. Sunderland haven't had a bad start either. I do think they're going to get the 3 points at home now. But I do think this is going to be quite a tight game, to be honest. So I'll only say 1-0 Sunderland.
1-0 Sunderland. Okay, next up, Watford take on Norwich, a Premier League matchup last season. And remember, Norwich came to Vicarage Road and won 3-0. Josh Sargent stood out in that game last season. Both sides lost at the weekend, though. Norwich don't tend to lose many in the Championship, so I can see them recovering quicker than Watford. Watford have actually lost their last two. But Bilic did come in with a great start with the 4-0 win against Stoke, so Watford really do blow hot and cold. It's a tricky one. I'm leaning towards Norwich, but Watford have got that star power going forwards that makes me think they'll get on the score sheet and maybe get something. I'll say 1-1.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to predict a 0-0. I think it's going to be a really exciting 0-0, like plenty of chances. But I think both teams on their day are really, really good teams, and that could cancel each other out. But an exciting 0-0 for me.
Okay, last up then is the game on Sunday, which I'll be streaming, and it's Hull City versus Birmingham City. This is an interesting matchup because both sides have kind of swapped form, if that makes sense. Birmingham have picked up a bit of form, and they got that 3-0 win against Bristol City. Hull City, meanwhile, are in decline. They got a win, and then they're back to losing ways. I think I'm going to back the Blues. I think Birmingham just look a bit more solid. Hull City's defence is so leaky. Hull 1, Birmingham 2.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-0 to the Blues. I completely agree with what you said about the form switch. I think in recent weeks, Blues, they've been getting the results, but actually at times they're playing quite good football. They have got a few good players, albeit they might be on loan, but it doesn't matter. They're getting the results, and I think they're going to pick another win up at the weekend, so 2-0.
2-0. That wraps up our championship predictions, guys. As ever, do drop a like and do subscribe. Obviously, get involved in BetMate. The link is down in the description, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.